guys, Marco here with the Vaticans with my quarantine beard. And right now I just heard the door ringer, and if everything goes according to plan, I should have a Malmsteen custom shop and a Malmsteen regular Corona in front of the door there. So follow me, let's see. You know where this is going. All right, you caught me. Let's be honest. It didn't work out like that. Nobody rung the doorbell and all of a sudden there was a custom shop Malmsteen and a regular Malmsteen there. And it didn't work out like in a perfect world where they are both there together at the same time. I just kind of did this because I wanted to look cool and be funny. But I shaved. Anyway, before you guys declare me a complete imbecile, which I am, let's jump right into it. All right, guys, I have my fancy gimbal ready to go. Here are the two cases. Let's see how they compare. On the left, you have the USA Corona. On the right, we have the custom shop. First impressions just of the case. I mean, they're both beautiful. They're great cases. Of course, on the interior, they're going to be different. Obviously, the right one being custom shop. Keep in mind, the custom shop is $5,500, probably $46 out the door if you get a good deal. And the Corona one, $1,750, so around $1,650 out the door. Call it a good $3,000 difference, if not slightly more. So you don't get like this wow factor with the case like you would, let's say, if you buy a Ibanez Chrome Boy or something. But that's also not the point. It is really a 68 reissue if you really think about it. But let's just open it up and get to the wow factor. So here we go. Here's your USA model. And oh yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. Okay. And here is your custom shop model. All right. And we'll take them out in a second. Don't worry. We'll do a big comparison next to one another. This is just a beautiful treat, this shot right here, isn't it? You know, if you love guitars, if you love Fender, if you love the YJM Strat. So right off the bat, obviously they look very similar. But trust me, there's a lot of differences under the hood and even above the hood. So what I'm going to do right now is take them out and let's just go through the case real quick, and then we'll actually do a side-by-side with the guitars. So here's a quick case comparison. Again, as mentioned, both beautiful cases. Of course, this is the gorgeous custom shop. For you guys who've had the Yngwie before, the regular Strat, when you open this up, you have your, in this case, Sweetwater inspection card. It's really nice. As of a couple of years ago, the Fenders now come with this COA, even though it's just a regular production guitar, but it's still cool to have that. You get a decent cable, of course, your trem bar, you know, the leopard strap if you're going to be wearing that. And what's really cool is, you know, the Yngwie body has the Dunlop locking tuners already drilled into the body and recessed in. Now that we go over to the custom shop case, of course you have this gorgeous velvety custom shop interior with the logo. The compartment is different, as you can see with the regular one. It has a little bit of a side case in the front, whereas here the whole compartment is an actual case. It's also a G and G case, all right. Original vintage, made in USA. They both are, which is very cool. Unlike Gibson, who is now, you know, outsourcing their cases from Canada to Singapore and Indonesia. Music Zoo card, where it was bought from originally. A couple of the strings. I put 942s on these. Yngwie, obviously, as you know, has a very unique gauge with the 8 to 46, however he does it. Inspection card. And then a little bit kind of more of the same. You have, took the back plate off like I always do on the Strats. like with the Eric Johnson, you get like the ashtray and an explanation of how to use it. A couple of picks, your tremolo arm. Nothing really super out of the ordinary. But what's cool, of course, you get your gorgeous custom shop booklet, which is really, really cool. And if you ever own the custom shop, you know how that works. You have the inspection card, and this is really cool. And I'll put this up for you here so you can really see it. This is really, really nice. It tells you, you know, who it was made by, the actual serial number. Very personalized, super cute. I mean, this is really nice. It's a beautiful leather pouch. And you have the, of course, your spec sheet. In this case, of course, this wasn't a custom order. So this is going to be spec'd according to that 68 that this guitar is supposed to duplicate or replicate, as I should say. But it is kind of cool to have it, obviously. It kind of tells you the shop floor traveler, kind of tells you where it started, for who it was made for, what store, and kind of the actual specs. So pretty cool. It's nice to have, obviously gives it value, makes it unique. Remember, these are very limited, and that's really what you're paying for. But the guitars, I should say, are completely different. And let's have a look and analyze the differences in those two. Hey guys, so I decided real quick to throw in an extra little segment. If you don't want to, you know, if you're tired of me talking so much, just fast forward about 10 minutes. I just checked, it's about 10 minutes. So, you know, as I'm holding these two things, I'm discovering a lot of differences. Some extreme, some subtle. And I decided to go online real quick and kind of show you what I think where some opportunities are missed to show the consumer how different these guitars really are. So let's jump into that real quick, and then we'll come back to the guitars. So if you don't want to listen to that, just skip forward about 10 minutes. Otherwise, check it out. I think for you guys who know these guitars really well, I mean, especially the regular model, you might maybe appreciate that as much if you are new to these. So here, guys, I want to show you a couple of things. And I think that Fender just missed a huge opportunity here. Actually, I should say huge opportunities. If you look at the Sweetwater side, or any other side, but I just like Sweetwater, the way you can make the comparison here. And then you look at the actual custom shop. There's a couple of things I want to point out that to me are just a lot of opportunities missed. And I'll tell you why, because as I mentioned, or if I haven't, I'll say it now, as you know, the Malmsteen Strat is a Strat that mostly people buy and then they try to play like Yngwie. And it's a shame, because this guitar is just an incredible Strat, period. And I'll tell you right now that these pickups, the YJM, are some of the best noiseless pickups ever made. They're stacked, as you know, and they're incredible pickups. I know a lot of people that buy them and put them in their Strats, in the regular Strats, because, you know, obviously the Malmsteen has the scalloped fretboard, which isn't for everybody. I personally love it. I don't try to sound like Yngwie. Of course, I'm very inspired by him. I'd be ashamed to not be inspired by him being a guitar player. But, you know, a lot of times when people buy this Strat, they buy it to play neoclassical shred. And in my case, I just, you know, play my stuff with the VATICANTS. And if you hear a lick that's Yngwie inspired, then of course I'm proud of that. The problem is that Fender just missed a lot of opportunities here with the description. And why do I say that? Well, first and foremost, people that are looking at this Strat, they already have an Yngwie Strat, or they're an Yngwie fan, and they know this particular Strat here very, very, very well. So the one thing they would want to know is what the difference is, because otherwise you have that huge problem that Fender has, is that the custom shop just kind of appears to be the same, just maybe nicer woods. And there's so many huge differences on the custom shop that aren't pointed out here. To be honest, it's very, very surprising, because even I couldn't really tell. I actually had to watch an Yngwie video from himself on his Facebook feed to actually see what the differences were. And they're missing some huge things here. And let me show you what I mean by this. For example, you look at the description, it's always the same stuff. Yngwie, you know, just like with any signature, what he's done. He invented the blah, blah, blah in 1988, his first custom. Then it goes, you know, balancing dynamic response, the custom Seymour Duncan Fury pickups, okay, they're great. Now, two-piece select alder, that's the first big difference, is that this is two-piece, and of course it's probably a very nice piece of wood. The problem is, you know, with Fenders, because, you know, it's basically wood with car paint on it, the problem is that you never see that wood. So if you look at like the Eric Clapton custom shop, or a lot of custom shops, it's hard because unlike Gibson or other guitars, you don't really see the wood, so you trust that it's a better quality piece. But obviously that's just the way Fender is. It's painted over and you'll never get to see it. It has an NOS lacquer finish compared to the Nitro, which is the regular one. And Custom C, okay, but it misses 9.5 radius. We already know that. Scallop, we know that. But what's the difference? And it doesn't mention the two. This huge difference. For example, as you'll see in a second, the body is rounded completely different than the Corona. I mean, they're both Corona models, but the custom shop body has a completely different contour, not mentioned. The custom shop doesn't have the bullet. That's huge. It's not even mentioned. The fretboard is glued on, not even mentioned. Think about what I just told you. It doesn't have the thrust rod bullet that comes through. It doesn't have the skunk, therefore, on the back. Okay? It is a one-piece. The fretboard is glued on, hence why you don't have the... I mean, just those things I said right now, that why would you not mention that? There's no mention of that anywhere. If you look at the Sweetwater comparison on the left, and being the regular one and the right being the custom shop one, let's go through this real quick, and I'll zoom in for you, okay? So you got the regular, they're both phenomenal guitars. I tell you, just the regular production Malmsteen is an incredible guitar for the money. Body type, solid body. Shape, okay. But what does this mean? I tell you, again, I can't say it enough. The bodies are completely different. This is contoured almost actually exactly like an Eric Johnson Strat. It is extremely rounded. This has really sharp edges. No mention of it. Number of strings, take a guess. One piece, two piece. Obviously, and this is probably really nice with a piece of alder. And so I can tell you right now, as you will see in a second, the neck wood is incredible. It's a beautiful piece compared to like the regular production guitar. Body finish, nitro versus gloss. Vintage white, the same thing. Here's a huge difference. Maple, flat sawn, okay? You might say, why is it not quarter sawn? For you who don't know, flat versus quarter, here's a video on that. And I'll mute this. So right here is a good difference. This is flat sawn, as you can tell. And this is better quality than just a regular piece of alder wood that just goes straight because of stability. The best is actually, this is flat sawn, as you can see. Makes it super stable. The best is actually this, quarter sawn. You will have zero shrinkage. It will last you over 3 lifetimes. Quarter sawn is hands down the best you can do. I believe that chose flat sawn because 68 had a flat sawn from my research. Otherwise, it's not that they were trying to go cheap. It's just that, you know, a quarter sawn neck would have taken away the integrity of what this guitar is. This guitar is really a 68 reissue, guys, with the difference being that Yngwie put on it what he liked the most. 68 had the 3-bolt. He changed it to 4. And, you know, he actually, the main Strat he plays nowadays, which I give him a lot of props for, is this one. So if you go on tour and you see him, you'll mostly see him with his actual signature model, short of playing his real 68 9s and early 70s, which he loves. But, you know, obviously those are huge differences with respect to the neck grain and the neck wood, and that's nowhere mentioned here on the Fender side. So it doesn't mention it is flat sawn. It doesn't mention any of that stuff. The glued on fretboard, the fact that the radius is slightly, the scallops are slightly different, and all of that stuff. Let's continue here. Maple bottom, flats on, we just saw. Modern C, it's pretty much the same neck, and over the years they did get a little bit thinner, but they're almost identical. 9.5. Round lamb, they're slightly just nicer because, you know, the guys put a lot of attention on it. Black dots, micarta black. Okay, you wouldn't even notice the difference. Everything else is pretty much the same. You know, they're the same tuners, 6 saddle. I mean, it's all the same. The pickups, everything is the same. Now, here's another huge difference. And that Fender does mention, the Malmsteen Strat, like he has on all of his Strats, is modified to a 3-way switch. He never uses the in-between. Actually, never uses anything but neck and bridge pickup. This is actually a 5-way. Okay, that's mentioned on the Fender side. So if you can see, it says somewhere here does mention the 5-way. There you go, 5-way pickup switch, which you'll never use probably, because whoever buys this guitar is probably going to be on neck and bridge the whole time, which is a shame because these pickups are incredible for clean. This comes with 10s. It doesn't. This ships with a 942, not with 10s. Very rarely does a Fender ship with 1046, and this one didn't. So that's flat out a mistake. No mention of the COA. No, but here's what I'm saying. Look at that. Nowhere does it mention the biggest things. That it is an old style neck that you have to take off to adjust. That the fretboard is glued on. That you don't have a bullet. And that you have a completely different selection of wood in the neck. So and the body contour. So we have body contour, the glued on maple neck. The glued on fretboard, I should say. And no bullet. So just huge things that you would think would be mentioned to sell you on how this one is different compared to the regular Malmsteen Strat. So I think a lot of opportunities missed here to point out, and because the first thing I wanted to see is, well, that's great. How is it different than the regular Malmsteen Strat? And those are gigantic differences that are going to affect tone incredibly, because a glued-on fretboard compared to one-piece will sound completely different than a one-piece neck. So let's go check it out in person. All right, guys, let's get to the bread and butter here. I'm going to go handheld for you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to use the gimbal. I'm going to try to keep it as steady as I can just because we're going to be jumping all over the place. On the left, I purposely kept the plastic on there for you so you can differentiate between the Corona one and the custom shop one. You can also obviously see right away on the top the bullet that the other one doesn't have. And I'm going to jump all over the place, a little bit continuing what I said a second ago. You know, when you take these two out of the case, they look identical. And again, that's the problem with these custom shop. You know, it's hard to tell because, you know, it's a guitar with car paint over. You know, the wood isn't like on other guitars right away, a giveaway that it's a more high-end model. But the thing is, guys, these are completely two different guitars. Completely two different guitars. Let's start, for example, with the Corona one here. You can tell right away, and trust me, the video doesn't do it justice. You can tell right away how much lighter and a little bit of a more common piece of maple it is for the whole neck and the fretboard. And when you come over here, you can tell right away how much darker it is and how much more of a selected wood it is. I can tell you the wood used for this is this particular neck, and I assume they're all like that, is spectacular. And let me show you a couple of things, and I'm going to put them a little bit closer for you. And you see, this is the thing I wish that would have been pointed out, because quite frankly, I'm discovering this while having both of them here. Where else would you have found this info? You know, look at that. You can tell the distance between the grains here. And look how tight this one is. It literally, you can just tell it's a better piece of wood. It clearly is all the way. You can tell also how much lighter this one is. It's less worked on with respect to rubbing the oil in before they apply the gloss. You can also tell just the rounding you know, of the grain and the aging is just spectacular. The back is a dead giveaway of what I'm talking about. And again, forgive me being handheld, but I want to make sure you really see what I'm talking about. So you can tell here, and I'll start with the Corona one. You know, it's a nice piece of wood. I mean, you can tell there's not much that went into this selection. And listen, I am not dinging this. I've had a USA Malmsteen since 1994 in my arsenal. I absolutely think it's one of the best Strats ever made. I understand the scalloped fretboard isn't for everybody, but trust me, take my word for it, outside of just being an Yngwie fan, it is an incredible Strat, and I always thought one of the most beautiful, the large headstock with the vintage white, etc., etc. And of course, they progressed over the years. I don't want to get into that. 88, they had the small headstock, different pickups, etc., and everything was different. But look at the grain here. I should say the aging wave, as I call it. It's pretty spaced. It's a nice piece of wood. You can see the little bit of the flats on grain there. You know, let me get it into the light. You know, there it is. So it's by no means a bad piece of wood. It's really, there it is. You can really tell it there. It's really nice. Listen, it's cute. It's a good piece of wood. And then look at this. I mean, you can tell right there, and just look at that flats on mark right there. The best way to have it right next to the fretboard itself. And again, the video I don't think does it justice. When you have this in person, you really just tell, and then look at the way the waving comes together. So it's a much older piece of wood and a much more hand-selected piece of wood. No doubt about it. The shape is the same. You know, when you hold it, there you can see how much darker the right one is. And I have the ring light on it, so of course, you know, just so that I have good lighting here for taping this for you, and purposely using the black wall. Again, just keeping it casual. I want to make sure you guys see the difference. Of course, you have the serial number there, which is now, this is a 21. The other one I have is an 18. And of course, the custom shop logo. Tuners are the same. But let me show you, when you put them, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lay it down here. So look at this. You see the distance of the waving here, you know, pretty spaced, almost like a half an inch. Now look at the neck on this one. Just look at that. I mean, this is a strong piece of wood. Look at this. Absolutely. I mean, this is an incredible, good quality piece of wood for the neck. So let's keep going. Again, I can't believe that this isn't pointed out to us by Fender. And I'm sorry if I sound repetitive, but look, skunk strip, no skunk strip. Well, are you ready? Only one of the biggest differences that affect sound that isn't mentioned, this is a one piece. This is a one piece neck. And guess what this is? This is a neck with a glued on fretboard. Look at that. Okay, so check this out. If I go down here, let's see if we can find it. You ready? Right there. Let's see that little strip. There it is. You can see it right there. See how it's beautifully filed in, but you can clearly see the, and I'll lay it down here for you. See right there, as you can see the line of where it's glued on. Let's see the other side, and I'll turn it around for you. There you go. Here you can clearly see. You see right there. See that line? The fretboard is glued on. And that is an incredible thing you would think they would point out, which they don't. Which just is mind-boggling. You can just see the aging here. Just an incredibly dense piece of wood. Very nicely done. So if you take the other one, and I'm going to lay it on top because this is a Strat and I can do that. All right. This isn't going to hurt it. This thing is built out of steel and dirt. So if you look, there you go. Look at the difference in density of wood. Look at this. And if you don't think this will make a difference in sound, obviously you are mental. So this is incredible. The scallops, by the way, are the same depth, okay? They're very, very simple, but just look at the difference. And again, obviously, as you would expect in a custom shop. Now, if you look at the fretwork on the, I tell you, the regular Malmsteen is as close to a custom shop as it gets. You know, the old Japanese ones, they had a little wood there and then the wave in the middle. They weren't all the way to the fret. These have come a long way since even the early 2000s on version 2 of this Strat when it still had the mint green pick art. But here it's even finer. Look at that, because they had to work on a separate slab of wood and then glue it on. And you can just tell how perfect and hand filed and treated the frets are. So an incredible difference just from the craftsmanship on a already fantastic fret job. The scallops get pretty deep as you get to the back of the guitar. Okay, so just incredible, a huge difference that you would think will be pointed out. Now, you don't have anything here. Here you have the bullet, which Yngwie, you know, again, for you who don't know, he took a 68, 9, 70, 71, 2, 3 and kind of made it, you know, modified a little bit to make it, improve it, if you will, quote unquote. So the reality is that really, honestly, this custom shop one is really a 68 with a scalloped fretboard and a 4-bolt neck. It really isn't an Yngwie Malmsteen the way you know it. And quite frankly, not one that he would play unless he was playing his original 68, 9, 70, 71, or 72, because he doesn't use 5-way. He actually has these two disconnected to get a little bit more boost out of the pickups. So the reality is that this actually is not an Yngwie Malmsteen. What it is, it's a reissue of a 68 that he modified to his liking before this one came out. That's the irony. And none of that is described or explained so that you understand what you're buying. So when you buy this, you're not really buying a Malmsteen Strat. You are indirectly, but this is directly a Malmsteen Strat. This is really a copy of his 68. Okay, he also changed the tremolo to a 6 that had a 2, so just modified it. Also, minor details, yellow knobs, white knobs, no big difference. Okay, here's where it gets real crazy. So here's the second thing that is incredibly different, and you know, that you would think would be pointed out, and that is the fact that the bodies are completely different. I mean, just look at that still shot right here. You can see how razor sharp this is. Look at the rounding on that thing. This thing is almost, I'm telling you, almost as round as that black EJ on the very top left. If you know anything about the Eric Johnson, you know that that thing is so rounded and so delicate. And you can just tell, obviously, hence the 68 reissue, that the body on this is completely different. So, and you guys know what I'm talking about that own a Malmsteen Strat. So if you look at the rounding here, right here, there's actually like a real edge here. So it starts going off into the roundabout, and then there's an actual real edge. It's not here on this one. It is completely rounded. The bodies are completely different contours all together. Let's see if I can catch it for you here too. Here's a perfect example. This is razor sharp. I mean, you can really feel the edge. Nothing here, completely round. Let's see if I can catch different angles for you. Excuse me again, I'm going handheld. Look at this. I mean, you can tell right here, look at the edge. It is really sharp. Here, completely round. They're completely different bodies. Look at that. You can tell the shading here of how sharp the drop-off is. And again, nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's just completely, look at how round this thing is. They're completely different contoured body. Let me turn it around for you. So now I have the custom shop on top and the USA, well, they're both USA. I don't know how to do it. Custom shop, non-custom shop. Look at the body. Look at the rounding. It's completely round. Look at this.
sharp edge. And that's huge. You would think they would point out that this is really based off of a 68. And the whole story behind it, that he took a 68 and personalized it and improved it, quote unquote, which he really did. Let me show you here too. This is a great angle. Hopefully, look at that. Look at the top rounding and look at that sharp edge. So they're completely two different. Here you can really tell. You have a complete flat spot here before it drops off. And it's even more extreme when you see it in person. And this thing, I'm telling you, if you told me this is an Eric Johnson, you would have me fooled, because the EJ is kind of based on a 54, 57, 59 blend and completely rounded off. Whereas this one has these incredibly sharp, you know what I mean? So look at that. You can tell just that sharp edge after the drop off. And you can really feel it. It's a real wall there. None here, completely rounded off. And here's again, just, you know, now with the custom shop on top, you can just tell the difference of the wood. Sadly, obviously with Fender, you cannot see the body unless you beat it up a little bit. This is a two-piece, one-piece. The custom shop is a two-piece, hand select. So I trust that probably the alder underneath is incredible. And matching to this, probably super dense, beautiful sounding. And you can tell in the resonance, I strummed it, and the difference is unreal. And then obviously, again here, super easy. You can just adjust the neck real quick, whereas with the 68, you have to take the neck off and do your thing there, which is very frustratingly annoying. Once again, 5-way switch here. Yes, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which you will never need. And I'll put that there. And of course, with the real Yngwie, the way he likes it, 3. And as you know, he has this pickup down all the way, which he never uses. So guys, an incredible differences, just that I found out myself that would have never been I just didn't have the info on it. So this is all stuff I'm discovering with you. You know, as of right now, and funny enough, I have not plugged them in. I only strummed them, but I have not plugged them in. Of course, I know this one very, very well. You know, I've owned one forever, but I'm going to strum them for you real quick. And so just some of the major differences that aren't mentioned that I wanted to point out. You know, it's very unfair to kind of compare this because most people just think, wow, it's the same as the regular Malmsteen, just probably nicer wood. It isn't, guys. This is really, like I mentioned earlier, a 68 reissue with the Malmsteen mods, whereas this is an actual, the way he plays it. Think of it, Toyota Camry, Lexus, but they're completely different guitars and with a completely different build, same woods, different quality, and most importantly, incredibly different features, because I played original 68s and the glued on wood makes a complete sound difference with respect to resonance that you truly feel the difference compared to a one-piece neck, as you all know. Also, you can tell the fretwork is really fantastic on both. We already saw the sides, and then here, not much of a difference. These are rounded really nicely. This is already phenomenal. This neck is not easy to make, and so with these, you know, it takes a lot of time. I already think that the regular Malmsteen is as close to a custom shop next to the Eric Johnson than a real custom shop. So listen, two gorgeous guitars. Let's plug them in. Let's compare. Before we plug it into the amp, and we're very lucky, we've got the JP2C and the 410 JVM HJS there. And we'll pick one or the other, but I want to show you a masterclass in differences of tone woods and what difference wood really makes. Watch this. And they're both fantastic resonating guitars. But just for a second, this is the regular one. I'm just gonna play a G chord. Just listen to the resonance.
little warm, a little muddy, definitely solid, you know, alder, but now, look how much brighter aged alder with maple sounds. Ready? I mean, that's incredible, the difference, isn't it? Completely two different guitars. And the main reason this is because of how more dense this wood is, and most importantly, what most people don't know, the neck makes the biggest difference, not even the body. And because you have glue pressed on two woods from different grains, it resonates much, much, much higher and more vibrant, hence the higher notes. I'll go back real quick for you, now that this is stuck in your head. And I'm doing this in real time and I can tell the difference. Watch how more muddier this is. I'm sure you could tell right away how intense the difference was, like I could just tell. And coming from this to that was one thing, but coming from this to that is like going from a Ferrari down to a station wagon. Good morning. I had my coffee, ready for the last and final round. Well, second to last round. After this, we'll do a little subjective, objective verdict. So, listen, we're just gonna plug them in. We're using the Mesa Boogie JP2C, one of the greatest heads ever. I love it. You know, it has an incredible clean sound. I got myself on the screen here so I can see, making sure it's recording. And listen, we're not going to be playing Malmsteen, okay? There's enough videos of people playing Malmsteen on a Malmsteen Strat, you know. What we're going to do is we want to treat this as a neutral guitar, because I'm telling you, these pickups and the way this guitar sounds is absolutely incredible. And we're going to use things that expose pickups, which is open voicings, open chord voicings. You know, shredding, anything sounds good when you play fast. You know, the best part is, and if you watch my other reviews, you know this, I haven't plugged in the custom shop yet, which was really hard not to do last night, because I wanted to do it in real time, like I did with the amps and the other reviews, etc., because I just think it gives it a more honest opinion, which is really cool. So I'm dying to plug this in. Look, let's just go for it. Let's pick something simple. We'll do bridge and neck, and then just switch them out, and we'll do it in real time to see how we discover the tones, you know? Here we go. This, by the way, we're completely straight into the amp, just a little delay, slight reverb, but it's all straight into the Mesa Boogie. That was sloppy. Let's do it again. Oh, that's really twangy. Yeah, this is, and I know this guitar very well, you know, I had them, but this is really nice. Twangy. This is your regular Malmsteen Strat, super twangy. This is like, almost kind of like Telecaster-ish. Right? Is that? Yeah, you know, so very twangy, really. Neck. Beautiful, just great stuff, you know. Very simple, very beautiful, warm. These are stacked. They're some of the best noiseless pickups ever on a Strat. I know for a fact, because I know some friends who bought them for their normal Strats, and they're incredible. Seymour Duncan Custom Shop pickups. They're gorgeous. You can tell it's morning. You know, I'm still letting the coffee kick in, but beautiful, very, very, very nice. You know, let's do the same lick again and kind of switch, because I'm dying to see what the neck pickup on the custom shop sounds like, because of the neck, the difference of the glued fretboard and that resonance it forces into it. So here we go again, bridge and neck. Neck. All right, let's see what we got. Finally. Boy, I should have done this at 3 in the afternoon. All right, here we go. First time. You can tell the clarity right away, right here. For you who know, this screams custom shop from a mile away. This is what I've been dying to do. You ready? Neck. Here we go. Whoa! Wow! Oh my God! Holy shit! Wow! Holy shit, man. Wow. I mean, listen to this. You can tell, guys, if you have experience playing for, 20, 25, 30 years, whatever it is, you can just tell when you hear a car engine, if it's like a, like a Mitsubishi souped up with some headers under, if it's like a Porsche, you could just tell the quality, man. I mean, they sound so different. I hate saying this sounds better. It's just, you can just tell the quality and the resonance of the wood. And because the fretboard is glued on, and you just have such a higher quality piece of maple and body, those factors all combined, So if you buy the highest version of a Toyota Camry, it's gorgeous, still good leather, good everything. But then you jump to a Lexus and it's just a notch above. I mean, just listen to this. It's just the clarity of it, it's like... Let's go to position 4. Beautiful. That screams that Eric Johnson, like that glassy sound. Here's the difference from 5 to 4, position 5 to 4. 4. I mean, just gorgeous. This forget that it's a Malmsteen Strat. Guys, this is just an incredible freaking Strat, period. Listen to this. Middle. Boring. Number 2. Oh. I mean, this is just 2 and 4 are just incredible. It's just like full on custom shop. I mean, if you know custom shops, this is it right there. Listen to this. That remind you of something? Dude, if this isn't, this is making my hair stand up. You know what I mean? Now I don't have a 4 and 2 here on this guitar, but watch this. Watch this. And again, I'm purposely doing this in real time because you see stores won't do this. They'll just put a lot of gain on and shred and yeah, it's a, and that's where this guitar is getting shortchanged. Watch this. It very twangy. You can tell it doesn't have the resonance. The neck sounds really good on this. I'm going to do that on neck to neck. Watch this. I'll do it again on this one. You know, the custom shop is exposing a little bit of the muddiness of the regular one. Listen to this. Same thing, ready? Oh my God. I mean, this makes me just want to hit the stop button and just go and play. I mean, and that is the difference in tone woods. I saw a lot of comments that woods don't make a difference. Quite frankly, you don't know what you're talking about. If you ever want to see a master class in what difference wood selection makes, and within the same wood, this is maple, maple, alder, alder, but there's leather for Toyota, and then there's leather for Ferrari. And those are two different cows. Trust me. And also different process in choosing it. So, and then of course, the fact that on this one you have the 5 switch, which isn't fair to compare to this one, but listen to this. And number 2. You can even go jazzy on this fucker. This is stupid, man. Wow. I mean, but again, it's such an unfair comparison because, you know, this isn't really the Malmsteen Strat the way he plays it. Really, this is more it. I feel like this is just 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. Best of all worlds, scalloped fretboard, reissue. So this thing sounds incredible, man. And you know, when you have a fully loaded Camry, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you then go drive a Bentley, your friend's Bentley, and then you go back home into your fully loaded Camry, you know, you see, that's where I'm going with this. And no disrespect to the regular Malmsteen. Let's go to gain. All right, gain time. I just imported the, and I think I can see it on my little screen here. You can maybe see it on the Mac. I just imported the previous section, and the clean tones, and I couldn't stop watching it, just how good the custom shop sounds. It's just absolutely blowing me away. And it's such a shame that people just buy this to play shred on it because they're just such good guitars, but it has such an association with, it's kind of like a Ernie Ball, yeah, like an Ernie Ball Majesty, you know. It's people mostly in my experience, people that only play progressive Dream Theater songs in 15th, 16th, I once had a song in that meter, buy those guitars, you know. And it's a shame because they're really good guitars, you know. The Chrome Boy, dude, it's a great guitar outside of just playing Satriani stuff. And when you get a little bit older and more experienced, you stop being a badge whore when you start caring about the quality. I tell you, these guitars are just incredible Strats. Do not think for once, and I think I just proved that. I hope I proved that to you. I hope I'm doing you justice today. I hope I'm doing a good job for you in pointing that out. And also, why I don't mic them. You see, I'm a Pro Tools expert. You know, you heard my album. I can mic it. I have a Royer 121. But the problem is, then it's like the stores, you know, those high-end demos. And the problem is, that's not the sound of the guitar. The problem is then you put it into Pro Tools. You can't just import it straight in. Then you have to EQ it. You have to take off the low end. You got to compress it. You got to add shit. And in the end, you know, it's meant to make sound really pro and good, so you buy it. But you know, I can spend an hour miking it and lipsticking it in Pro Tools, but that's not gonna give you an honest I just want you to get the vibe and difference and then actually go to the store and play it. So, whoa. I got the gain all the way up. Again, we're not going to shred. We're just going to do open voicings. JP2C, no external effects except for a little bit of delay. That's it. So let's do a phrase on both. It's a little muddy. And again, I haven't tried to the custom shop. It's a little muddy. I would actually have to turn on the EQ. The JP2C EQ is dialed in very well, but I have a pedal EQ that I would have to kind of tweak here. But again, just to give you an idea, neck is going to obviously sound very thick, so. Still very nice. You can clearly tell the tubes, the EL34s and the or 6s I should say in that one, and just the high quality pickups. You can still hear the overtones very, very well, which just tells you it's a very good amp and a very good guitar. Let's play a little bit something just to give you an idea. Shred. So listen, it's really nice. This is good quality stuff. This is really, really, really beautiful stuff. I'll give you the same phrase on both pickups. Neck. Beautiful. Yeah, this is really beautiful. The tapping is going to be hard on this fucker. It's like, very hard to tap on the scalloped stuff and slide in. You'll bottom out a few times. It sounds a little muddy. Let's go to the Bentley. All right, I gotta stop doing that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just way too lazy to walk over to the volume. Ready? Oh, okay, missed the hole. Hope nobody gets offended. All right. Check this out. Same phrase. You know what? I'm not even gonna, here. Just listen to those two. Here. I wanna really show you. You know, I posted a few pictures the last 2 days of these two, and a lot of people said, oh, not a big difference, probably just more expensive. Now you know why. Just listen to this. Good, a little muddy, but good. It's aggro. All right, check this out. I can almost hear every note individually, even in the low end. Notice how the neck is so much clearer because of the resonance of the wood just being better quality. Listen, just listen. Sorry, that was some sloppy Petrucci attempt from a solo I barely even remember. But this is just beautiful. Like, sorry. I can't put this thing down. And look, there's no point to go to two and forget it, you know. And it's already gainy and noisy and you know, wow. Still think they're similar. Still think that the custom shop is just the same shit but more expensive. Yeah, you know. Sometimes in life, you get what you pay for. All right. Looks like we've come to the finish line, you know, and like I always do, I wanted to give you a verdict, opinion, I don't know, but I'm having a hard time because, you know, I walked into this knowing the Malmsteen Strat very well in all of its iterations. I'm telling you, man, it's way too early. Freaking fob. Uh-oh, where's the laughter? No laughter, right? And so I thought that the custom shop, probably like many of you, sadly wrongfully think so, is the same as this, but just nicer done, or more nicely done, and it isn't. Sadly, it isn't. This is not a better version of this. This is a reissue of an already modified guitar that Yngwie has. And eventually out of this, the original one of this came about. In a weird way, it makes sense. It's really, really strange. So it's really hard because, and it's such a shame, again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record and saying the word completely again, but they're just two different guitars that are duplicating two different guitars. And that's what's so weird to me, that Fender wouldn't point that out. And as a result, the stores are just kind of selling it as specs, but not really. They're missing the whole point of this. The different contoured body, the glued on fretboard, no rod, the fact that you have the old style thing, the 4 instead of 3, different selection wood, 2-piece instead of 1-piece, completely different neck select. I mean, it's just, it's a shame. It's a really shame because these are both such incredible guitars. I can tell you, just as a standalone custom shop, this thing is absolutely incredible. And it's not an incredible Malmsteen guitar, it's an incredible Strat. And playing Scalloped fretboards has made me a better player because it requires a much more coordinated and focused touch. I love having it one, and I love that it's also an Yngwie model because I love him too. And then your regular one is just your, you know, your typical Malmsteen Strat, but it's just a completely different thing. You know, all I can tell you is go try both. I can't really tell you this is better than that, because the custom shop, I mean, listen, the custom shop is a clearly superior guitar. You can tell two dudes or one dude sat there and really dialed it in. There's just no confusion about it. And it better be for a list price of $5,500. And this is your production guitar, a Malmsteen Strat, you know, just a little hit or miss what you're gonna get. This neck isn't that nice. I've owned much nicer ones. But, you know, and a lot of misconfusion out there. People saying it's quarters on, it ain't, it's flats on. So, well, that's a different issue. Educate yourself before you leave comments. But you know, it's just an incredible guitar. I would never be without a Malmsteen Strat in my arsenal. I think you're missing out. And if you care about having versatility, you got to have one of these, and just for the pickups alone, because those Seymour Duncans are some of the best single coil stack pickups ever made. It's just a fact. It's just, again, you know, you have a really beautiful car with really nice leather, and then of course you have your custom built Bentley, and you get what you pay for. And I'm happy that if there's one takeaway, I'm happy that I can say, because you know me, I have no problem bashing overpriced guitars. Go look at my / Les Paul review, and you'll see how I really feel. But the new 50s Les Paul with a $500 price tag for the / sticker, but no difference in guitar and shit pickups. So this, I can happily say, is truly worth the money. Well, what it's worth it to, it's a different story, but you truly get what you pay for. And you'll get it for way less. You can pick this up for way under $5 grand. Call Music Zoo, and they have a lot of room on these, trust me. But it is an incredible guitar. It is an incredible guitar. Absolutely just badass piece of art, you know. And I personally, this of course is subjective, I just think this is one of the best looking Strats ever made. The whole vintage white and the large headstock, and it's just you know. But again, it's not the Yngwie, like, it misses all this stuff. So it's again just it should have been named something else, you know. They should have done a better job. You know, they should have called it, if I were to market this, I would have been like, go back to Yngwie's roots, duplicating the magic of his original Strat before the signatures came out. That would have instantly made me be like, whoa, now I know what they're talking about. Late 60s, early 70s, holy shit. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity missed. Shame. But anyway, I hope you had some fun. I hope I did this some justice for you, and I tried to do it in an organic way. I look forward to your comments. Listen, stay safe. Interesting times out there. You know, today more than ever, I thank God and my lucky stars that I have music which doesn't judge. So, and unless you wear a black robe and a gray wig, you shouldn't judge either. So, thank you for watching. I'm going to leave you with shameless promotion of our latest music video, like in my other review. What is our latest music video? It is Alley of Brandt. We're working on Living for Nothing right now. That's going to be at the end of the year. Please subscribe and check out whatever I'm going to leave you with. Got to throw in some promotion, and I'll see you for the next video. Thank you, guys.